power doesn't always build empires. Sometimes it keeps them alive. Around the world, the ultra-wealthy are disappearing into private medical sanctuaries, hidden behind mountains, anchored far out at sea, tucked inside fortified compounds. Clinics with no waiting rooms, no public records, no oversight. Their goal isn't health. It's longevity, a future where aging becomes optional. The hidden clinics. For decades, longevity research was public, kept inside universities, government-funded labs, and philanthropic foundations. But over the last 10 years, a parallel medical universe has emerged. A private ecosystem designed exclusively for those who refuse to accept the limits of biology. These clinics hide in plain sight in Monaco, Zurich, Dubai, Singapore, the Cayman Islands. They're technically legal, but engineered to stay far outside the reach of ordinary patients. And what makes them different is not just wealth, it's access to testing, treatments, and technologies years ahead of public medicine. Membership fees at some of these centers rival real estate. One clinic reportedly charges initiation fees comparable to a luxury penthouse. Others operate on annual retainer structures, $150,000 to $250,000 per year, not including the cost of treatments. What most people don't know is that many of these clinics run on the model of vertical integration, meaning they control everything: the labs, the testing, the compounds, the biobanks, the data. Clients don't just buy treatments, they buy access to an entire closed medical economy. And once inside, nothing resembles a hospital. There are no fluorescent lights, no crowded hallways, no noise of medical equipment, only silence, soft leather, diffused golden lighting, and walls designed to feel more like a private suite than a clinic. Patients are greeted by biometric scanners, iris, gait, voice print, not receptionists. Every check-in feels less like medical treatment and more like entering a restricted research facility. Insiders say these clinics practice a philosophy called hyper-personalized medicine, medicine rebuilt from scratch for each individual. Everything is tailored: the diagnostics, the biomarkers tracked, the drugs prescribed, the nutrition protocols, even the circadian lighting systems in the treatment rooms. One clinic reportedly tracks over 800 biomarkers per patient, from mitochondrial performance to epigenetic drift to immune repertoire diversity. Data that no public hospital would ever test routinely, let alone interpret. But here's the part almost nobody knows. Several of these clinics, according to insiders, operate what they call closed-loop rejuvenation programs, meaning the patient's blood, stem cells, peptides, and genetic data are stored, modified, and re-injected back into the same person in cycles. Their slogan is simple but unsettling: you become your own treatment. These aren't hospitals. They're longevity sanctuaries built for a rare class of people, individuals who no longer see aging as inevitability, but as a technical problem to be engineered away. And inside their walls, time isn't measured in years. It's measured in biomarkers. What the super rich actually do. Behind the closed doors of these clinics, the ultra-wealthy follow medical playbooks that most people don't even know exist. Not wellness, not routine checkups, but full-body redesign. 1. Hyper-resolution body mapping. The first step is hyper-resolution body mapping. Not a checkup, but a forensic-level audit of the entire human machine. Full-body multi-organ MRI protocols, ultra-high-resolution imaging, whole genome sequencing, immune age testing, mitochondrial performance reports, all analyzed by AI models trained on data the public never sees. Some clinics reportedly maintain digital twins of their clients, virtual replicas used to predict disease years before it emerges. Not medicine, but pre-disease engineering. 2. Off-label enhancement protocols. Once the mapping is complete, the enhancements begin. NAD plus infusions. Rapamycin-based longevity protocols. Senolytic compounds to destroy aging cells. Telomerase activators used cautiously, but quietly. And peptide stacks engineered for individual genome types, the kind most people will never hear of, because they exist only inside these private ecosystems. 3. Stem cell and regeneration suites. Next come the regenerative suites, private stem cell procedures, autologous cell expansions grown in on-site clean rooms, reprogramming cycles using exosomes, growth factors, and custom biologics. Some clients even maintain personal biobanks, storing their younger stem cells, tissues, and plasma for use decades later. 4. Precision plasma exchanges. Then there are the precision plasma programs, fully anonymized, tightly controlled, and rarely discussed publicly. Plasma is matched, filtered, fractionated, and reinfused with molecular precision. Not crude transfusions, but targeted infusions based on immune markers and inflammation signatures. Insiders say some clinics even run compatibility registries, super exclusive donor networks where age, genetics, and immune markers are optimized to create perfect matches for rejuvenation cycles. A biological luxury available only to the ultra-elite. 5. Offshore longevity havens. Many of these treatments operate in legal gray zones, so the clinics follow a simple strategy: go offshore. Yachts converted into floating labs, clinics on private islands with sovereign rules, treatment centers in jurisdictions with flexible regulatory frameworks. To the public, longevity is a dream. To the super rich, it is a private service. Not offered in hospitals, not mentioned in medical brochures, but performed silently for those who can afford its price. The age gap of the future. Longevity clinics aren't just medical institutions. They are the opening architecture of a future where lifespan is no longer a biological fact, but a luxury product. Because if medicine evolves faster than regulation, and if enhancement becomes purchasable, then the future will not simply have an income gap, it will have a lifespan gap. The biological class system. Imagine a world where the rich don't just live better, they live decades longer, where early cancer detection happens before tumors form, where immune aging slows, where cellular damage is reversed before symptoms appear. Not for everyone, only for those who can afford it. The data divide. Longevity medicine is built on data. The more data a clinic collects, the better its predictions become. For the rich, this creates a biological feedback loop. More money, better forecasts, safer interventions, longer lives. For everyone else, the system freezes. The forbidden question. And so a question emerges, whispered in policy circles and research labs, and behind closed doors. If aging can be slowed, if biological decline can be delayed, should it be available to everyone? Or only to those who can pay for it? Some longevity experts warn of a world where the wealthy become biologically younger each year, while the rest age normally. A world where time itself becomes the ultimate currency. This is the emerging divide, not wealth versus poverty, but longevity versus mortality. And unless access changes, the future may be shaped not by the strongest or the smartest, but by those who can afford more time. Every generation has chased the same dream: to slow the clock, to heal faster, to stretch a life beyond its boundaries. But for the first time in human history, the tools exist. Tools to measure aging, tools to manipulate it, tools to push death back not in myth, not in philosophy, but in biology. The wealthy are not waiting for permission. They are building infrastructure private labs, offshore clinics, biobanks, gene editing programs, while the rest of the world debates whether such treatments should even be allowed. Longevity is no longer a medical concept. It is becoming a commodity, a service, a membership tier in a biological hierarchy. And if the wealthy live decades longer, the future will not be divided by income or opportunity, but by lifespan itself. Because when time becomes a product, when youth can be engineered, when aging becomes optional for a select few, then the greatest currency of the future will not be money. It will be years. And whoever controls time controls everything. If this deep dive into the hidden world of longevity opened your eyes, subscribe for more stories of hidden power and the empires built out of sight.